Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will explain about support vector machines. So this concept belongs to machine learning subject. So first we'll see the definition. Support vector machine is a supervised learning algorithm used for classification and regression. So everyone remember this SVM is called as supervised learning algorithm. What is the meaning of supervised learning algorithm? We are going to use labeled data. So the purpose of this SVM is used for classification and regression. So what is the meaning of classification? We are going to classify the data. Here the classification nothing but male, female, true or false, 0 or 1. So what is the meaning of regression? Regression nothing but prediction. So we are going to predict something. It is widely applied in fields like image recognition, text classification, and bioinformatics due to its efficiency in handling high dimensional data. Okay, so the main purpose of this SVM is where the applications we are using like image recognition, text classification, and bioinformatics. So what is the meaning of this bioinformatics? So based on the blood report, we are going to analyze the disease. So this is called as what we say support vector machine. Okay, so we will go forward now. Now you can see SVM is a classification algorithm that finds best boundary. So that is also called as hyperplane to separate different classes in data set. So what is the meaning of this line? So the purpose of first one is a SVM is we can use for classification. Okay, so it finds the best boundary hyperplane to separate different classes. So let us say there are two classes are there. So in order to separate those two, we are using this SVM. SVM identifies the key data points called support vectors that decides the boundary position and ensure maximum separation between the classes. Okay, so in order to separate two classes, we are using something called as support vectors. Okay, so let us move forward. For example, so where we are using this SVM in male data set, spam or not spam, SVM creates a boundary using features like word frequency, message length to separate two groups. So remember, SVM, one of the important application of SVM is in order to find the spam mails. Okay, so there are two things are there in the mail. One is official mail and second one is the spam mail. So in order to find the spam mail, we are going to see the condition something like a word frequency, message length. Okay, so to separate two groups. Now there is a diagram is there for SVM support vector machine. So what is the purpose of SVM? We are going to separate two classes, that is we are going to segregate. Okay, now you can see in this two axes are there. Let us say this is x1 axis, so this is the x2. So two boundaries are there, x1 and x2. Now you see this is actually SVM diagram. Okay, so there are two things are there. First one is the circles and second one is the squares. Okay, so in this we start from circle here and this is the ending point. This ending point is called as support vectors. Here also you see in the square these two are ending points and these are also called as support vectors. Okay, so remember whatever the line we have, so this is the ending line for square, this is the ending line for circle. So this is called as what we say, this is called as hyperplane of second class, this is called as hyperplane of first class. So hyperplane means after this class there is no more circle, so this is the final of circle, so it is the final of square. Okay, so in order to distinguish these two, we are going to draw the margin. So this is called as margin. Okay, so please remember this line is called as a decision boundary. So what is the purpose of this decision boundary? It is going to differentiate between these two. So here one of the most important gap is there. This is called actually margin. So what is the meaning of margin? Gap between decision boundary and hyperline. So this is called as hyperline. This is called as decision boundary. So it is all about the support vector machine. So we have two types of data. One is circle, second one is the square. So we are going to differentiate between these two. We are using SVM concept. Okay, so actually this is called as what we say decision boundary. So it is going to segregate, it is going to differentiate class A and class B. Okay, so this is called as what we say support vector machine. Let us move forward. You can see how the SVM classification processes. Okay, so when we give the data, how the SVM process the data. You can see first one represent data points, second one select hyperline, third one maximize a margin, and fourth one identify support vectors, apply kernel trick, get classified data. Okay, so in order to classify the data, you must use these 5 steps. First one is the represent data points, second one is the select hyperline. Okay, so we must select the hyperline, third one is the maximize margin, fourth one is the identify support vectors. You see here we identify the support vectors, so these are called as support vectors. Okay, so next one, last one, apply kernel trick to get the classified data. Okay, so in order to get classified data, we are using kernel trick in SVM. So let us move next. We have types of SVM, one of the most important topic here. So types of SVM, first one is called as linear SVM and second one is called as non-linear SVM. So what is the meaning of linear SVM? This type of SVM is used when the input data is linearly separable. That is, if data set can be classified into two classes by using straight line. So please remember, this is called as linear SVM because there are two data is there. First one is a circle and second one is, let us say, this is called as square. So linear SVM means it is used when the data is linearly separable. In this, the data is linearly separable because there is a straight line in order to distinguish between two different types of data. If data set can be classified into two classes by using straight line, yes, one straight line is there in order to distinguish between these two. Okay, and second one is what we have on the screen, you can observe. So second one is called as a non-linear SVM, non-linear support vector machine. This type of SVM is used when input data is not linearly separable. That is, if data set cannot be classified into two classes of straight line. Okay, so when you observe linear, there is a line between two things. But if you see, there are two different types of there, but this is not at one place. You observe here, here we have squares, here we have squares, here we have circles, here we have circles. So the data is scattered, the data is placed in different locations. So this is called as what we say non-linear SVM. This type of data is used when the input data is non-linearly separable. That is, if data set cannot be classified into two classes by straight line. Okay, so there is no straight line between the classes or else data. Okay, so in order to convert non-linear to SVM, you must use Z is equal to x square plus y square. So please remember this equation. When the data is in the form of non-linear, in order to convert into linear, we must use this equation. Okay, so let us move forward. So these are called as applications of SVM. Spam detection. So in order to find whether the mails are spam or not, we are going to use SVM. Image classification, sentiment analysis. So we are going to find the behavior. So when we use something like a WhatsApp, Facebook or Instagram, you get some comments from others. So this is called as sentiment analysis, whether that is good or bad or any words we are going to classify. Bioinformatics. So what is the meaning of bioinformatics? You are going to analyze the data, patient information, patient health regarding based on blood samples. Okay. Fifth one, financial fraud detection. And you can observe, next one is the advantages of SVM. Works well in high dimensional data, effective for classification, maximize margin, and fourth one is a works for linear and non-linear data. Okay, so these are called as advantages of SVMs. Now what is the limitations are there for SVM? Slow on large data sets, not suitable for noisy or overlapping data. Last one is the hard to interrupt. Okay, interpret. So what is the meaning of this one? Slow on large data sets. When you give a large data set, it may very slow, not suitable for noisy. And last one is the it is very hard to interpret. Okay, so this is all about the what we say SVM, support vector machine. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you one and all.